Hey, what's going on? Hey, I hope your Friday's going great. This is a non-typical Friday for me, and I'll get into it a little bit later, but what I want to say is this probably will not be a short video. So if you're looking for the sound bite, if you're looking for the 30-second clip, this is not going to be it. The topic is going to be healthy aging and aging gracefully, because where I am right now, I didn't see any of that, and I realize how important it is. So the reason this week was atypical for me is because on Tuesday, I flew from San Diego to Virginia for the funeral of my grandmother. She would have been 95 in a couple of months. And people say, oh, 95 years old, that sounds like a nice long life. But look, forget about lifespan. Lifespan is not the important part here. Think about health span, because what good is living 95 years if through most of those years you were miserable? And that's exactly what happened. The last few years of my grandmother's life was pretty miserable. And I'll tell you how the decline happened. And it happened, so she did have dementia, Alzheimer's disease, some kind of neurodegenerative thing. But here's where the decline really happened. So a couple months ago, she was walking and broke her toe somewhere in her apartment. So she broke her toe, and because she broke her toe, she wasn't able to put weight on her foot. So that means she was essentially chair-ridden / bedridden for a couple of months. Now, while she's bedridden, little did she know she's losing tons of strength in her legs. What little strength she had, she's losing it in her legs. So when you think about vehicles, we think about our vehicle, the vehicle being a car, or maybe you have a motorcycle. You know what our vehicle is? That's our vehicle. The vehicle is our legs. That's our big vehicle. So anyway, her vehicle declined in 2 months. So she lost a lot of strength. Now, once that foot healed again and she was able to put weight on it, guess what? She didn't even have the strength to move or to get out of the chair or to do anything. So because of that loss in strength due to that one incident, then there was just this downward spiral that culminated in her passing. And so this was it was a large event, and I saw a lot of family members who I haven't seen before. And what I saw is it was this total immersion of ungraceful healing, aging. It was this total immersion of age-related decline and neglect. And I've seen it somewhat, but I've never seen it with this intensity, with these amounts of numbers in the same place. It's almost like going to, maybe you've heard about some kind of third world country. You heard about it, or you saw a documentary about it, or you saw it in the news. It doesn't really take root in you. And then you go to that country and you say, oh my God, wow. Then you come home, you throw out all your possessions, you become a minimalist, become a Buddhist, adopt veganism, all those things. And it's the total immersion. It's that visceral feeling of being in the environment which caused the change. So that's where I was at. So the first takeaway is that health span seems to be much more important than lifespan. The other thing I saw is that the
luggage and
age
parcels must be attended at all times. Do not leave your luggage and parcels unattended. Unattended items may be removed in accordance to FAA regulations.
So the second thing I saw is that the age-related decline of health and condition due to aging, that seems to be non-linear. It's almost like the technology curve. In the 80s and 90s, the curve was moderately rising, and then at some point in the 2000s, late 2000s, the curve shot up and we had this exponential growth. That's what I'm seeing with aging. So if something happens to me when I'm 70 years old or 60 years old, it's very different than when it happens when I'm 30. And that might sound like common sense, but what I saw people age in a year, in 6 months. I saw my dad 6 months ago, see him a couple days ago, and it looked like he aged 5 years. I've seen family members who I haven't seen in a year, they've aged 10 years. I even know friends in San Diego that in 3 months they have shown age-related decline. They're in their 40s. So what I'm seeing is that as that age advances, those conditions, the results of neglect and disuse, become much more dire. So, and it's challenging because when we're younger, we don't really think about these things. We're in our 30s and 40s, we don't think about these things. But it's important to get into a routine right now. Right now, not tomorrow. I know it's Friday. You might think, all right, I'm going to do something Monday. Look, I got here Tuesday, ate well Tuesday, but then Wednesday and Thursday, I didn't eat great. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. So Wednesday and Thursday, what happened was we went to the restaurants that my grandmother used to go to. So we kind of did this tour of 3 or 4 restaurants with everybody. It was our favorite restaurants. And every one of these restaurants, the portion sizes was out of control. One portion was 3 days worth of food. So she would say, yeah, I eat out maybe twice a week. But every time, if she eats out twice a week and she's getting 3 days worth of food in each time, so basically eating out 6 days a week. It's not 2 days, it's 6. So we did this tour of all of our favorite restaurants. Portions are huge. Food is not healthy. So for 2 days, I didn't eat that great. I tried to make some healthy choices, but it wasn't great. And today I woke up and I just wanted a salad. I just wanted something healthy. And at the beginning of the trip, I was thinking, well, you know what? It's just 3 days. So Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday, maybe I'll be bad, and Friday I'll be bad. But when I get back home on Saturday, I'll get right back on the wagon. So I'll just do this whole trip. But you know what? If I delay this even one day, then I'll delay it another day. And something else will come up while I'll delay it. So it's all about drawing that line in the sand and saying, who do you want to be? Who do I want to be? And start now. Not tomorrow, not Monday, right now. Because I could have easily gone back home and then started my routine. But I woke up today, I got a chicken salad, not with mayonnaise, but a regular salad with chicken, and then I got another one to go, and I'm in this airport, and I got all that to go because I didn't want to postpone it another day because it's just a creeping death. Well, I'm going to postpone it today, and then something will happen, and then, oh, well, I'll do it on Monday. Oh, I had a hard work week. We'll do it next week. And that's exactly what my family members are like. Oh, I'll do it next week. I'll do it next month. And now they're 60, 70, 80 years old. And because they've been putting it off a day at a time, a week at a time, they're now in this condition where they are not able to get that fitness routine back. It's just not happening. It's not happening. I was the healthiest guy out of 50 people. So because of that, everybody was asking me what to do. Hey, I want to eat right. You look great. I want to eat right. I want to eat healthy. And what I wanted to say, I gave them some general answers, but what I really wanted to say was, forget about doing. You don't do fitness. If you want something that sticks, you have to be it. So don't think about what to do. Don't do fitness. Don't do healthy eating. Be healthy. Be fitness. Be nutrition. Be that. And that's where it starts. When you embody and take a stand and say, hey, this is who I am now. This is what my new life is like. When you make that decision, that hard decision, and you stand on it, then the tactics will show up. But a bunch of tactics, I can give you the best tactics in the world, but if they're not grounded in a mindset that is committed, they're just gonna go to the wayside. So think about committing. And it doesn't mean that you have to say, today I'm going to work out 6 days a week, and today I'm going to eat nothing but lettuce and kale, and today I'm going to run 5 miles a day. That's not what it has to be like. So drawing a line in the sand and making a stand and being committed doesn't mean you have to commit to intensity, but it means a lifestyle change. It means committing to something and creating non-negotiables, no matter how small. Just like I said the video about compounding interest, no matter how small, do it and keep doing it, because sooner or later, your life is going to flash by. You ever been driving on the highway and it's a 30-minute drive and all of a sudden you are at your destination? You didn't see any exits. You didn't see any Teslas. You You didn't see anything. You just basically sleepwalked all the way to your destination. That's what happens. We tend to sleepwalk, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's a bad thing when we at the end of that sleepwalk, we're broken, we're heavier, we're in pain, we have degenerative disease, we have type 2 diabetes. That's when it's a problem. And that's what I saw. It's just everybody who I saw this week, they sleepwalked their way to dysfunction. And the only way to wake up from a sleep is to start right now. Slap yourself in the face and do something. That's it. I saw that so much. So I don't know. Look, I don't have all the answers, but I know that the mindset is absolutely crucial. It's above anything. It's above any tactic. It's above any nutrition plan. It's above any exercise program. So I saw that a lot. So the question is, who do you want to be? I don't want this to be all doom and gloom, because I met a family member who I never met before. He was 6'3", great shape, and he moved, he drove, we played chess. He was real good. And after interacting with him for a while, playing some chess, I found out that this guy is 90 years old. So he's the opposite end of the spectrum. He's 90 years old, driving, carrying luggage, whooping ass in chess, eating healthy, exercise. He was bragging about his exercise routine because he had made it a lifestyle. Think about a cheetah. Think about a cheetah that you raise. So you raise the cheetah a cheetah can run, I think it's one of the fastest land animals. It can run like 60 miles an hour or something like that. Look, if you go out in the wild, you will not catch a cheetah. It's not gonna happen. But if you raise a cheetah from its birth, you raise the cheetah knows that you're the owner, you teach it tricks, it comes when you call, you can have that cheetah under your control. But you're not gonna catch a fully grown cheetah. That's what your fitness routine is like. That's what the health routine is like. It's like raising a cheetah. Because a lot of people think that at 50, 60 years old, 70 years old, that they're just gonna catch a full-grown cheetah. You're not catching no damn cheetah. So if you raise that cheetah from birth and you know the ins and outs of the cheetah and it is a part of you, you don't have to catch a full-grown cheetah. And that's what I'm seeing people do. They put off their fitness and their health for business goals, I heard a lot of family and kids and all those other things. And I get it, those are noble intentions and they're very important. At the same time, if somebody thinks that at 50 years old, they're just gonna catch a full-grown cheetah, I don't think I've ever seen that happen. And because people try to start at a late age, they'll start the routine and they just won't get the result that they expect, or the results are not quick enough because our body just has a diminished response. So they're not getting the results that they want. And then they abandon the program because, well, it's not, because in their eyes, it's just not working. So they go on a program for a week, start it, stop it, because they're not getting the results that they think they should get, because they're comparing the results that they should get to their 30-year-old self, to their 20-year-old self. But they're 65 and we're 65 and our bodies just don't work like that. So it's super important to, even if we're 20, even if we're 30, even if we're young, it's important to start raising that cheetah now, because we're not catching it in 50, 60. You're not catching a full-grown cheetah. We got to raise it. So my call to action to you is, after this video, don't swipe to the next one. Don't go get a cup of coffee. Go get some quiet time and think about what you want your advanced age self to look like. What do you want your 60-year-old self? What do you want your 70? What do you want your 80-year-old self to look like? And if you want to live a life on your terms, and you want to travel when you want, and you want to move about the country and the world the way you want, if you're not healthy, it's not going to happen. So think about, what do you want to do? What condition do you want to be in? Do you want to play with your kids? You want to play with your grandkids? You want to travel the world? Look, my dad's dream, he wanted to go to Egypt. There's no way he can do that now. And he put it off. He worked, and then said, you know what? At this age, I'm going to do it when I'm retired. There's no way he's going to Egypt. He can't even go to the grocery store. So he put it off, he didn't cultivate the fitness, he didn't raise the cheetah, and now he's screwed because he can't do these things that he always wanted to do. So think of the call to action is to think about who you want to be when you're 7 years old at that advanced age, and start right now. Because if you want to be an aging person who kicks ass, it doesn't happen by accident. People don't fall out of bed at 7 years old and they're putting their carry-on luggage on. I'm in the airport right now. They're putting their carry-on luggage on. They're boarding flights. They're squatting down. They're picking up. They're getting out of chairs. That doesn't happen by accident. So the call to action is, who do you really want to be, and start working towards that right now. Not today. I know today's Friday. It's easy to say, yeah, I'll start on the weekend. No, it's important to start right now, because if you could find an excuse to put it off now, you'll easily find an excuse to put it off Monday, and then the next week, and then the next week. And then we just sleepwalk, like I was talking about. We sleepwalk through life, and now we're 30 years later, and we put off that fitness routine, and it's just not happening. So, look, this isn't to sell a book or a program. I don't care about any of that. The goal is, how can you become the healthiest person you can be, achieve all your goals, live the best life possible on this short life that we have on this planet. And it could mean kind of detaching from our emotions. Our emotions say, hey, the chocolate cake feels good. Laying in bed till 10:30, it feels good. And often our emotions are at odds with what the correct decision, what the most meaningful decision is. Our emotions probably don't want us to eat kale, work out 3 times a week, and run 5 miles, jump in the sauna and the ice bath. Our emotions probably aren't screaming for us to do that. I'm sure there's some people, a small amount of people who are. They're like that. Congratulations. But for most people, they're not like that. So how are you able to put your long-term intention in the front of your mind, and then hurdle those emotional roadblocks that might be keeping us from making the right decision, and start putting things in place little by little, and start raising that cheetah? Look, you raise a cheetah, it might bite you a couple times. So there might be a little bit of collateral damage. But at the end of the day, you're going to have a cheetah that runs 60 miles an hour and does every trick in the book. So you have to decide, is it worth it for you to go through that? And if your intention is strong enough, then you'll adopt that mindset that says, this is who I am, health is what I am, fitness is what I am, longevity is what I am, it's not something that I do, this is what I am, and start putting things into place. Start from square one, and just keep moving forward, keep walking forward. So, look, I really hope I wish everybody can be here with me to experience what I experienced. And I'm sure a lot of you have experienced this type of immersion at some point in your life, but this was very striking for me. And I'm going home. My flight is delayed for a long time, but I'm going home, and I'm going to think about, what do I really want to accomplish in my 7th decade of life, in my 6th decade of life, my 8th decade of life. I'm going to be 50 this year, and it's important for me to start thinking longer term because of what I saw. So if you need help starting something, then let's connect. But I don't want the information to be the roadblock. I don't want the fact that you don't know where to start to be. In fact, it doesn't matter, because remember, it's the mindset that's the most important thing. So once you adopt that mindset, and once that is a part of you, just like your heart and lungs are a part of you, when that mindset is a part of you, then the magic is going to happen. So think about putting all your energy into that mindset. And if it's hard for you to adopt that mindset, keep digging. What is it about health that doesn't resonate with me? What's the thin end of the wedge? Where can I start making a little bit of movement? Where can I start adding some variety? Where can I start adding some health? And just start the process. That's all you got to do. Just start, step on the gas, and don't slow down. Don't slow down. Even if you're speeding up 1 mile an hour. As we age, can't slow down, because the age-related decline is exponential. So get started today. It's Friday. It's Friday evening probably. Saturday morning, do something. Do one thing. Make it happen. All right. Take care.